welcome into this edition of Saints Summer Spotlight. My name's Mike Demos, and Siena men's basketball head coach Jimmy Patsos has made some staff changes over the offseason. New to the program is Director of Basketball Operations Ben Asher, and also joining the program is new assistant coach Jordan Watson, who joins us now. And Coach Watson, welcome to Loudonville.
Happy to be here, Mike. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it's great to have you here, Coach, and let's just start off with having you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background in the game, and how you ultimately got here to Siena.
So, grew up in Illinois, in Galesburg, Illinois. Played basketball there at the high school. Went on to play at the University of Evansville for 2 years, and then transferred to Augustana College in Rock Island, Illinois. From there, I kind of decided I wanted to get into coaching. Had a brief stint at Illinois State, and then found myself working for the Memphis Grizzlies, which was a great experience. That's where I met head coach Cormier, who is the head coach at Dartmouth now, and that's where I've been for the last 5 years, and I'm real happy to be here.
And you mentioned the last 5 years as an assistant coach at Dartmouth. When the Siena position came open, what ultimately drew you to this opportunity that made you want to be a Siena Saint?
Well, I'll tell you, it was tough to leave a place like Dartmouth. It's a very special place, a place I called home for the last 5 years. A lot of people that I'll for sure be keeping in touch with, especially the players. It's always a tough situation to leave a group of guys that you've helped come there and that you've coached for a couple years. But you know, Dartmouth is an easy place to sell, and Siena is that way too. You know, Siena has a great mission. It's a wonderful campus, great school, and the basketball program is a great one. And it's one that winning is important. And you know, for those reasons, and I think the staff, feeling comfortable with the staff, those are some of the reasons why I really wanted to come over here and join the Saints.
I know you've only been here a couple days, but the players have been here a couple days as well. As the student athletes come back for summer courses, you've met some of the freshmen, some of the returnees. Just give us your initial thoughts on this team and this 2015-16 roster.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You know, I've had a chance to meet all the guys and work with a couple of them. Have spent some time with the 4 freshmen who are very bright, great guys who I think have a ton of potential to really help this program in a meaningful way right away, which is good. And so I think this roster has about everything you need. I think the key is going to be integrating everybody together and getting that team chemistry, especially with a lot of new faces. But if we can do that, I think that the sky's the limit.
We're joined by new Siena men's basketball assistant coach Jordan Watson on our Saints Summer Spotlight. And Coach, you mentioned a little bit earlier about your background, obviously having strong ties to the Midwest. You've coached in the Northeast for a while. From a recruiting standpoint, what are some of the areas you hope for Siena to get into that you have some good connections with that you hope to keep going?
Well, at Dartmouth we recruit nationally, and so I've had the opportunity to go all over the country looking for basketball players. Being from the Midwest will help. I think that recruiting is all about relationships, and having those deep-rooted relationships that you've fostered over a few years definitely help, and I've got those in the Midwest. And then in the Northeast at Dartmouth we recruit the prep school circuit very heavily, and so a lot of those relationships I think will help too. And you know, recruiting is the lifeline of any program, and so I'm going to hit the ground running with that and hopefully impact this program that way in recruiting.
From a coaching standpoint, when it comes to X's and O's and working with different positions on the court and whatnot, what do you feel are your biggest strengths that you hope to help bring to Siena?
You know, I've had an opportunity to work with a ton of great basketball coaches, and I've tried to be a sponge everywhere I've been. Everybody's a little bit different. You know, there's more than one way to skin a cat type of thing. It's not all the same everywhere. So, you know, taking all those things and trying to add some things to Siena will be fun to do. I can work with, you know, any position. I'm not afraid with working with the bigs or the guards or anything like that. So whatever the team needs, I'll be ready to help at that time with whatever they need.
When you had your interview with Coach Patsos, what did he outline as his vision for this program, and what was that, and how do you feel like you can help Siena attain that?
Well, Coach Patsos obviously is one of those guys that's one of a kind. He's a very unique guy. He's got a ton of character, very intense. And so, you know, when you watch Siena play and his former teams, the one thing everybody notices is how hard those guys play. And people gravitate towards that. And so that's probably the number one thing he outlines with the players is you got to play hard. You got to lay your chest out on the line, cut your chest open, and his players usually do that, which is great. And I think the other thing that'll be big with this group is team chemistry. And so we talked about that in the interview process and how I can kind of help facilitate things like that. From an X and O standpoint, you know, I'll just do my best to kind of learn what goes on here at Siena and try to fit in where I can. But I'm excited to be here, and I think this is a great opportunity.
We're excited to have you here. Coach Watson, welcome to Loudonville.
Great. Thanks, Mike. Let's go Saints.